Imagine this. You're working hard every day, grinding, saving, building something for your future, but then you look around and see someone else living a seemingly easier life. And you think, why am I working so hard while they seem so relaxed? This exact situation was explained thousands of years ago in a simple story from the richest man in Babylon, the story of the ox and the donkey. But here's the twist. This story is not just about work. It's also a perfect metaphor for something many people struggle with today: lending money to relatives and ending up like the donkey. Let's dive in. There once was an ox and a donkey who lived on a farm. Every day, the ox worked extremely hard, plowing fields from morning to evening under the hot sun. His job was heavy, tiring, and endless. Meanwhile, the donkey had a much easier life. He carried lighter loads and often had time to rest. One day, the ox complained to the donkey, "Why is my life so difficult while yours is so easy? I work all day, and you barely do anything." The donkey, feeling clever, gave him advice. "Listen, tomorrow, just lie down and pretend to be sick. The farmer will think you're unwell and give you a day off." The ox thought this was a brilliant idea. The next morning, he refused to get up and pretended to be sick. The farmer came, saw the ox lying down, and immediately made a decision. He took the donkey and put him in the ox's place. That day, the donkey had to plow the fields, doing the ox's heavy work under the blazing sun. By evening, the donkey was completely exhausted, barely able to stand. That night, he rushed to the ox and said, "Get up tomorrow and go back to work. I overheard the farmer saying, if you don't recover soon, he might replace you permanently." The ox immediately returned to work the next day. And the donkey? He never gave such advice again. At first, the story seems simple, but the lesson is powerful. Trying to escape responsibility can make things worse. Taking advice from the wrong person can backfire. And most importantly, when you interfere in someone else's situation, you may end up carrying their burden. Now let's bring this into modern life. Think about this carefully. A relative comes to you and says, "Just help me this one time. I'll return the money soon." You trust them. You want to help. It feels like the right thing to do. So you lend them money. At that moment, you think you're being kind. But what often happens? They delay repayment. They avoid your calls. They come back asking for more. Or worse, the relationship becomes awkward or damaged. Now suddenly, you're stressed, your money is stuck, and you're carrying a burden that wasn't originally yours, just like the donkey. You stepped in to help and ended up doing the heavy lifting. Here's the harsh truth. When you give money emotionally instead of wisely, you risk becoming responsible for someone else's problems. This doesn't mean you should never help people, but it does mean set clear boundaries. Don't lend what you can't afford to lose, and never let guilt force your decisions, because once you step into that role, you might not get out easily. So remember this simple but powerful idea. Not every easy-looking situation is truly easy. Not every request deserves a yes. And sometimes, helping blindly can hurt you more than it helps others. The ox learned to value his work. The donkey learned not to interfere. And you should learn when to say no. If this story made you think differently about money, relationships, or responsibility, comment your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your experience. Like this video if you found it valuable. and subscribe to the channel for more powerful lessons like this. See you in the next video.